It's your favorite twin flames, and we are here to talk about relationships and love and the top 5 things that you need to know to remove toxicity from your relationship. Let's go. Your favorite twin flames are back for another episode. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
We are here, and it is a gloomy day in New York City. We got drones flying ahead of over our heads and shit. The government is something else. You think they're lying, Kisha? I think they're lying.
I think they're telling the truth because I like juice.
But this all right. We still came with our sunshine and our sunflowers, and we got a good message for you today. We want to talk about toxicity and relationships and all that good stuff. But you've been nudging me, Kish. You've been nudging me, and you want the audience to know who we are.
Yes, because it's been a little controversy on who we are. Previously, we were known as the Twin Flame Spiritual Chefs, which we still are, and people are always asking us, what does that mean? Like, what does Twin Flame Spiritual Chefs mean? And so it got to the point where we were explaining too much. So let me tell you right here.
Tell them.
Get a pen and paper so we don't ever have to explain ourselves ever again.
What is this about?
Janine and I are actually registered nurses.
Yes.
Okay. We met in nursing school over 15 years ago. And along the way, after we graduated and we started working as nurses, we started noticing some synchronicity between the two of us.
Yes.
And it became weird after a while. I remember one time Janine and I was sitting on my couch in my house, and Janine was like, what's that word? It was an exotic word. She said, what's that word? And I said the word, and she looked at me like I raped her. She's like, how did you get that word? And you literally looked at me
because you were all up in my head, and I'm like...
Now, mind you, at that time, this was years ago, we didn't even know we had any empathic abilities or psychic medium abilities. We just knew we were 2 average women that were nurses, and we started realizing there was some similarities. So, give you another example, like when she got in trouble at her job, I would get in trouble.
Yeah, and that's no joke. That was happening like every time.
She has car problems. I have car problems.
Today.
Yes.
Today. And you didn't even have, I had car problems since the weekend.
But listen, on the way here, you saw the car problems I was having. I'm like, oh, take the wheel, God, because I don't know if we're going to make it.
But at this point, it's just it's like natural now.
Yes.
Because of the synchronicity. So when things happen to her, we are just expecting that the other will have the same problem.
Exactly. So then moving forward, now that we had figured this out, that we were twin flames, I'm one of those people, I always ask God, like, well, for what? Like, what's the purpose of us being twin flames? In the midst of everything, Janine and I had a couple businesses.
Yeah.
And I always felt like it was something else we should be doing.
Yeah.
And one time I was at your house, it was December of 2021. I was in your bathroom and I got a message from God, and he was like, this ain't it, it's something else. So I came out the bathroom and I told you, but I'm like, okay, if it's not selling here, if it's not selling trackers, we was selling everything.
Everything under the sun.
I'm like, well, what is it, God? So then our psychic abilities started really
opening up. Yeah.
It was opening up before then because I had an out-of-body experience in 2018. We both got enlightened you got enlightened in 2018. Yes. I got enlightened in 2019.
Yeah, I was first.
So in the midst of all of that, we were getting these, and the thing is, with all of these abilities that we were having, I still kept asking, so what is this all about? Because I'm close to 50 years old. And at that time, I was in my mid-40s. And I'm like, God, okay, I'm a registered nurse. I have my kids. Why are we going through these synchronicities? You're telling me there's something else besides selling hair and trackers. What do you need for us to do? Now, moving forward, what happened after that? So 2021, God told me in December that there was something else.
We just started learning different things about spirituality.
Yes.
But the way we learned about our spirituality was definitely through downloads. So we kept getting downloads all the time. We started finding things on YouTube that was starting to open us up to our spirituality.
Yes.
And to the point where things just felt so serendipitous because when it would when we would get our messages, you would get the same message, or it would resonate so strongly with you. So we knew we were kind of on track. So we kind of bounced off of each other a lot.
Yes.
With the things that we had learned, right?
Yes. And then I also, too, with the out-of-body experience in 2018, it opened me up to know that there was more than just what the Bible said.
Yes.
And so I started peeling back layers and watching videos on YouTube and just searching for where I was, because I wasn't in heaven and I wasn't in the place they call hell.
Yes.
I was in that in between. So I kept searching and searching. And believe it or not, there were not too many people that had the experience I had.
Yeah.
So then moving forward, something major happened. I'm trying to think.
I don't know, but listen, I'm going to say this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, go ahead. No.
So no, okay, I remember, because you got to keep in mind, Janine was really more into it. She was pulling me along with her. She'll tell me something new that she learned. And I was, before the enlightenment, I was like a holy roller. Like I didn't, like if it had nothing to do with the Bible, don't tell me this. And then Janine was saying all of this extra stuff. And I'm like, what the hell?
She thought it was crazy.
Yeah, I was like, this girl got me.
And there's a lot of people out here a lot of y'all out here are like that.
Yeah.
But guess what? You're all disappointments.
See, look at the shirt.
Disappointments, all of you.
So now going back to what I was saying, I'm 48 years old, so keep me on track.
Well, you said something major happened. What major? You got to remind me.
Oh, I was at a patient's house, right?
Talk to me.
I was at a patient's house, and I was not supposed to be that patient's nurse.
Yeah.
At the time, I was a home care nurse, and the daughter said to me, "Has anyone ever told you a shaman?"
Oh, I remember that.
I was like, "No." So then I get in the car. I looked up shaman, and it said healer. Like that was. I looked up, I swear to God, I was in my car and I looked up at the sky. I said, so God, a healer? That's what you want me to be, as a healer?
Yeah.
So now moving forward, 2 weeks later, I'm in another patient's house and the caregiver wrote with her left hand. And anytime someone writes with their left hand or uses their left hand, I always ask them, what is your gift?
Yeah.
And she said, my gift is seeing things. And I said, okay. And she says, well, the last time you were here, which was last week, I saw things around you. And I said, you saw things around me. So she was basically seeing angels around me.
Yeah.
And she said she couldn't believe it because she said, how does little woman, I'm 5 feet tall, how does little woman have all of this energy around her? And she said, when you started speaking, I heard it in your voice. And so then I said to her, well, this lady tried to tell me 2 weeks ago I'm a healer. She said, that's exactly what you are. You are a healer.
Wow.
And I was like, really?
She heard it in your voice? With that deep, sultry voice. I thought because you just...
Maybe,
I'm not going to say what I want to say.
This is an R-rated show. We can't go XXX. Anywho. So after that, then that's when we really started peeling back layers. And we had gotten a couple readings from people.
Oh, yeah.
And then people
were
telling
nonstop.
us. Yeah, people were telling us.
That we were number one twin flames,
yes.
that we were healers.
Yes.
And we didn't believe it.
Yeah, but they were saying you're bigger than just, like they were saying you're healers, but it's a bigger mission. So finally, we got our Akashic records read. Well, you got yours read.
I got mine first.
And it was confirmation that we were sent by God. Like we was literally sent by God because we have failed a mission in a previous life.
Yes.
Can you go ahead and talk about that?
Well, this is the thing. First of all, a lot of people have to understand that sometimes there are people that have been assigned to come back to help mankind in a way that is probably far beyond even a human level of understanding.
Yes.
So we're in that point in our lives where we're trying to get as much information and connect the dots as far as what we have been assigned to do.
Yes.
So when I got this Akashic reading, it basically said that you and I had been in
a tribe. We
were in a tribe, and that we had secrets that we kept from the world, and we didn't utilize our gifts the way that we were supposed to. Mm-hmm. And we came here to complete the circle.
Yes, and fulfill that mission. And we were guaranteed that once this mission is done, once we're done with this lifetime, we're done. Like we have been here multiple times. And when we accomplish what we accomplish, this is our last go round.
Go round. I'm glad. I'm ready to get up
my
out of
soul
here.
is tired. They told me I've been here multiple times. I'm like, geez, I've been trying to get it right. How many times?
You said again?
So with that being said, once we got that message, we were like, okay, we need to figure out how God wants us to accomplish this mission.
Yeah.
In the midst of all of that, we started doing quantum healing hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
And with the quantum healing hypnotherapy, the other side came through and gave us more information on what they wanted us to do.
Yes.
So they told us, we want you to open up healing centers. And I was like, so it was cute because I was like, so you want us to do healing centers in my area?
New Jersey?
I was like, New Jersey? They was like, no, the world. I was like, the world?
They did.
I was like, the world.
They said the world.
So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, where we're at right now, we have opened up one healing center. And that's in what part of New Providence, New Jersey. And I'm going to tell you all of the things, both Janine and I will tell you all the things that we are doing in this healing center. And then we're in the process of opening several healing centers.
Yeah.
And so
we do a lot of different things. Number one, quantum healing is just a great tool that we use in order for people to not only find out about their past lives, we also help them understand what's going on in their current life and the things that they need to fix, because we're all on assignment here.
Yes.
We all came here to fix something. I don't care if you're a twin flame. I don't care if you're royalty. We are all here. I don't care if you're the biggest actor in the face of this planet. You came here to fix something. You all have a lesson to learn, and they make it hard for us. They don't make it easy for us to understand these lessons, but they have granted us now a little bit more grace and opportunity, especially through specific healers like Kisha and myself, where we can help you understand what is that lesson that you came here to fix.
Yes.
So a lot of us are battling a lot of issues, particularly with mental health, which is what I take pride in, the both of us being able to really use our empathic abilities to know what is going on with you currently, emotionally, and with the mental health issues that people are that are bearing down on individuals, and because they are combative and within their soul, and not understanding again what their life's mission is, and we bring that to light.
Yes. And with the quantum healing, a lot of people are afraid because of the word hypnosis.
Yes.
And all of our clients, once they finally do it, they are so grateful. I had one lady who got the quantum healing, and she actually said she admitted to me 3 weeks later that she had asked God for permission because she felt like she was overstepping her boundaries.
Because she was religious.
She was very religious.
Yeah.
She was heavy into God. She'd go to church every Sunday, but she had went through something traumatic and she needed some answers right away. And so she called me up randomly, and she was like, listen, not randomly, but she called me up and said, I need your help.
Yeah.
And so when we did the hypnotherapy session, 3 weeks later, she said, I'm going to tell you something. This is God. Yeah. This is, because they come through lovingly. A lot of people feel like they're afraid that they're going to get a report card that they're ashamed of. You know,
I got clients running from me now. They're so afraid to face themselves. Yeah. But that's what this platform is all about. Yes. We want to give you guys the courage to be able to face yourself, because it's not an easy process. And I will admit that Kisha and I have both had it done. Yes. Which is what you mentioned. We both had it done. And we discovered so many things about ourselves and some of the things that we knew we had to fix.
Exactly. One other little thing I want to throw in there with that, just understand, and we've done this several times, they have never came through and talked about when you robbed someone or when you had an orgy, or because a lot of people are afraid like that stuff will come to the surface. Not the
orgies.
Because I be waiting like, oh, I'm going to get some juice. They don't give you that kind of juice. I just need to let you know that they're not going to rat on you. They're here to help you, not... You know,
well, it depends on what happened during the orgy, because I might ask some questions because I want to know a little bit more.
But also, too, what we do is Reiki. Oh, and when I say we have a team that we work with. So it's not just Janine and I. We have a team that works under us. Yes. Doing these things,
too. So we also, I'm a level 1, level 2 Reiki healer. Yes. Still working on my gifts. Trying to be a master, level 3, level 4. We have been granted by God, we have been granted the ability to be able to open the Akashic records as well. Okay. And what else do we do? We could do some crystal work, right?
Also, too, we deep cleaning, cluttering. So we have people that come to your home. Yes. If you live in our area, eventually it'll be, like they said, worldwide. But we have people that come to your house
because
and
decluttering is important, and the connection is that when you are a hoarder or you have trouble with organizing your external space, that usually stems from internal issues.
Yes.
So we make that connection spiritually, so we can try to get you to have cleanliness, because cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yes, and on also we have nutritional counseling.
We do,
because a lot of times the way we feel is the way we eat, because of the way we eat.
Correct.
So that's one of the number one things we do. And you mentioned crystal work, and we also do intuitive life coaching, and we can do that virtually. So if you need intuitive life coaching virtually, we are available. If you're in California, hit us up.
Yes.
Also, too, we have the gift of being psychic mediums, but Janine and our gift is a little different because we don't have the shop is open sign.
We get an influx of images.
No, because we both work in a hospital, so we don't want it to be where, because there have been times I'm talking to somebody and they'll just start giving me downloads about the individual, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
And they'll nudge me, say this. I'm like, no, I'm not going to say
this. And you
this.
get crazy with it. I do. I'm like, girl, relax.
Oh my gosh.
But I'm just playing. But no, but seriously, we do get downloads, we get information about people, but we try to keep it filtered because we are around a lot of people all the time.
Yes.
So sometimes the signals will get a little crossed, and we're still trying to understand our gifts, most importantly.
Definitely. And one of the major things that God has assigned us to do is help you enjoy your everyday living.
Yes.
And if you have eyes, you have teeth, you have skin, you have a nose, this show is for you.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
All you disappointments.
Yes. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you are. You could be atheist. This show is for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because life be lifing, and life is hard.
Yes.
And we have been given the tools to help you through this journey called life. And like I said, God wants everyone to win. He really does. He wants everyone to win. In order for you to win, you need the tools. And he's given all of us the same tools.
Yeah.
It's just that you guys are not utilizing it correctly. So our show is to give you the daily tools so that you can win in this life.
Absolutely.
And not have any regrets.
And no regrets.
Yeah.
And you gotta work this world through the vibration of love.
Exactly.
And that's why we're here.
Yes.
Which is why we're going to talk about love today.
Yes, hunty.
So I wanted to first and foremost, I want to congratulate you. You just had an anniversary that came around.
Sure did.
How many years? How many years?
26 years. 26.
Good googly moogly.
I tell people sometimes, don't tell my husband, I said we've been doing a 26-year bid. And the marriage is hard.
People say that about 10 years.
Yes.
That's why I'm not married.
It's hard. It ain't easy.
But I want to be. I'm not going to lie.
Yes,
I want to be.
Yes.
And I know that I'm destined to be one day. Because I have another twin flame.
You do.
Isn't that magical? I actually have 2 twin flames.
Yeah. Actually, I think you have 3.
No, we don't know that yet. I have 3 coming.
Oh, Jesus.
We don't know who the third one is yet.
She's a whore of spirituality. There's some people who are still trying to find a twin flame, and you got all of these coming to you.
Don't be jealous. Stop hating.
I just got one and only one because I don't want any more. That's my only one right now.
But listen, so let's break down twin flames before we get into this subject.
Yes.
So people need to understand that a twin flame is one energy that reincarnated, came back to not only walk in alignment and have the same soul mission, but you have a great mission that you have to accomplish.
You sure do. You sure do.
And most of the time it's about raising the vibration of either the people around you, the world, or however source has designated it. And we have a great mission to raise the vibration of the world.
And then the soulmate is a person that was brought here to help you
understand your lessons.
Yeah, and to get you through this lifetime too.
Yeah.
My husband is definitely my soulmate.
Yeah.
Because there's been times where he's given me advice and I needed it. And he pushed me in a different direction than the direction I was on.
And we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit more about this toxic relationships, how to keep that toxicity out of your relationship, which I know is not an easy subject by far, not an easy task. So tell me a little bit about this 26-year marriage with you and your husband.
Well, you know the funny thing with my husband and I, we met a year before we got married.
Yeah.
So a lot of people was like, how did you do that? I said, well, I got skills, honey.
Oh, you little freak of lake.
But all jokes aside.
But you were 21, right? 21?
I was 21. I was young and dumb and also,
Yeah.
Anyway.
dot.
But with that being said, we met literally, actually our 1-year anniversary as boyfriend and girlfriend was a month before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
And so we knew right away it was something that sparked within the two of us that we were soulmates. And back then people weren't saying the word soulmate, but we just knew that we were meant for each other. And a lot of tragedy happened in my life after my husband and I got married. So that just further lets me know that he had to come in my life at that time.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't have been prepared for the tragedy that was ahead of me. So, we have a goal to reach 100 years.
Wouldn't that
marriage.
be a blessing? But in order to get through that though, like, tell me about has it been an easy ride? I'm pretty sure it has not.
You trying to get me divorced?
No, I'm not. It can never happen. That's your soulmate.
No. It's had its ups and downs, but I would say it's been more good than bad. And I can honestly say I will vouch for my husband. We didn't go through any infidelities. If he has cheated on me, I don't know. So, a lot of times people, when they hear somebody say, oh, we had a lot of bads and lows, had nothing to do with infidelity. It was just basically like finances. Finances was really what pushed us over the edge at times. And when a couple is struggling, because like I said, we got married when I was 21. I was still in college when we got married. So we had to build financially together. We both were poor when we met.
But so this is crazy. So when you had your quantum healing, it came out that you guys had been married before.
So let me tell you something. I'm gonna be a little transparent. So in the previous lifetime that my husband and I were together, I was the troublemaker. Mm-hmm. And I was the one having infidelities, and I'm the one that just left him high and dry. So, and we were married, and unfortunately I had passed away in my late 20s, early 30s because I was in a life that wasn't deemed godly. I was robbing and stealing from folks, and apparently that lifestyle caught up to me, and some goons were chasing me, and I flew through a car window, and the rest is history. Yeah, but I left my husband, who was my wife at the time. We already had 3 kids, and she was pregnant with our 4th.
Wow.
So we had to come back in this lifetime to fix that karma.
Yeah.
And when I found that out, I was devastated. Remember?
I do.
I was devastated.
Because let me tell you, you used to be a robber and a stealer in your last life. This girl couldn't even steal a piece of gum.
No, I'm like, no.
She gets on my damn nerves sometimes.
I'm like, me? I needed therapy after that. So, with that being said, that's how we ended up back in this lifetime. I don't know how many lifetimes we've been together, but that one is the one that we're working on in this lifetime.
So this is incredible. So this is why we're having this discussion about toxicity and relationships. Yes. And just as a side note, listen, there are 5 keys. I think there's 5 keys to overcoming toxicity in relationships. Yes. And the first key, I must say, is forgiveness.
Yes.
So what's so great about this, that you had the ability to understand your past life and how it connected with the current lifetime.
Exactly.
And which is why it will lead you to key number 1, which I believe is forgiveness.
Yes, forgiveness. For me, forgiveness. After that experience happened, because we as women tend to have this thing where we're the goody two-shoes in the marriage, and we're looking at our husband and making them feel like they're the problem.
We're great at that.
But after I had that quantum healing, I realized it was the mirror in my face, and it was the things I need to work on with myself. And also it allowed me to start forgiving him for not changing the light bulb for 6 months. Little things like that.
Yes.
We go through, when marriage is the little things that we hold on to it. Yep. And we'll look at that person across the room like, I can't stand you sometimes. I'm still waiting for this light bulb to be changed. But after that healing, I started just accepting life for what it is when it come down to him. Yeah. And just say, you know what? If he don't change the light bulb, then I guess I have to, or however. But forgiveness is a major thing. Have you ever had to deal with forgiveness?
Oh, have I? Have I? So listen, I'm gonna be transparent. Okay. Yeah. And you know my story. The world doesn't know my story.
Yes.
The issue is that I was in a 10-year relationship-ish.
Yes.
Great man. I love him to this day.
Yeah, he was a cool dude.
Amazing guy. And he always kept a smile on my face.
He did.
Which is why he was a wolf in sheep's clothing.
He kept smiles on many faces.
You get a smile. Okay? This man had me hoodwinked and bamboozled, okay? So, not to take anything away from him, because he really was a beautiful man. He was just dealing with internal conflict. Yeah. And that's what I equate infidelities to, is a lot of internal conflict that happened. And we're going to have this discussion because I think it's a really important discussion for us to discuss with the world, is people understanding the importance of having a villain in your life.
Yes.
So having someone that cheated on you, and for me, I was unaware of it for most of the relationship. Okay. Because he just smiled at me and made me laugh all the time, and everything was great. He took care of the household. We bought a house together, and we had a really good time. But then when I found out things, my intuition was kicking in very, very heavily. Yes. And I was ignoring it because, of course, this was before I had become enlightened. Yes. And what I realized is that relationship led me into my enlightenment. Yes. So I needed him to be there.
Yeah, he helped you. Yeah. So do you think that was the way how you learned you were able to forgive him, because you were able to see how he served the purpose?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's what people need to understand, is that when you start opening yourself up to spirituality, you have a different way of the world now. Now you can look at things so different.
Now let me ask you, moving forward in another relationship, do you think that would be a problem?
Infidelity?
No, trusting another individual because of what you just went through.
Bitch, I'm a psychic.
Oh, that's right.
I dare your ass.
You like, listen, you better act right, because I know before you know that you know.
Of course I will. I double dare you at this point.
Yeah.
But listen, at the end of the day, I'm completely open-minded with a lot of things in my life, and the person that I'm with next, I have to have them elevate into my level of spirituality so we can kind of see eye to eye, because that's why I'm here. I'm a healer. I can't just heal the world and not heal the person I choose to be with.
So, your forgiveness reminds me of, or it leads into our next topic, is gratitude.
Absolutely.
Because, it's funny, forgiveness and gratitude kind of goes hand in hand.
It does.
Because one of the things that we've learned in our walk with spirituality is that every obstacle or every problem you've had, there's a lesson to be learned, and is a teaching moment. And instead of saying to yourself or pointing at the other person and saying, you did this, you did that, you should always ask yourself, what did I learn from this situation? Yes. Even if you had nothing to do with the situation, if this person completely cheated on you, there's always still a lesson to be learned. And so you were grateful.
I was.
Because you understood that he led you to higher levels with your spirituality. And I think that's so awesome.
It is.
I'm proud of you, Janine.
Thank you. Thank you. I forgive you, motherfucker.
Because not so many people can be, And I will say this, because people, with us trying to teach people the tools in getting through this life, because we said life be life, and you must understand, in the beginning, pretty sure Janine was not in her house saying, oh, I'm learning lessons.
I was cheated on, damn it.
You're so awesome. Oh my God. No, she didn't do that.
Not at all.
But it took some time, because we're all human, and and one of the things we never talked about in the beginning of this describing who we are, we focus on shadow work too.
Yes.
With the intuitive life coaching.
Yes.
So I know from us talking about that relationship you were in, you had to do a lot of shadow work.
I did.
Because, while you're learning while you're pointing the finger at the person, telling them you hurt me, the lessons that you're learning is you peeling back layers.
Yes.
Because a lot of times the lesson you learn, stems from something that happened when you were a
childhood.
child. Yeah.
And it'll tell you why you ended up choosing the person that you were with.
Yes.
So that's why you have to forgive people, because you actually designed it that way, number one.
You sure did.
And the people that we choose in our lives to be mates, you're actually reflecting a part of yourself into that individual.
Yes.
And it's usually something that you have to fix, right? It could be something that you have to fix, or something that you're working on in that lifetime in order to excel into a new height.
And I'm glad you said that, because that also helps people when they keep saying, they'll say to themselves, I keep meeting the same person.
Yes.
keep making like,
and that's what God will do. He'll send you the same asshole in a different suit.
You like, what's that? And you know why he does that? Because you didn't learn the lesson.
Because you didn't learn the damn lesson.
So you're like, all right, we got to go back to school. Open up that same chapter. Here goes Bob. And he's the same person as the previous person.
That's right.
So once you learn the lesson, then God said, okay, you learned the lesson. Let's move on and let's get you into a better relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and that's what happens.
Interesting. Yeah.
And and that's the thing. And then sometimes people don't understand is that relationship won't come around either, the one that you keep praying for.
Yes.
Because God wants you to work on you.
Yes. He does. So, like you said, the villain is here to help you.
For a reason.
Yep.
For a reason.
So now the next part.
We talk about, number 3. So number three, I will say, is removing the negativity out of the relationship.
And how do you do that?
Well, I'm going to ask you. You're the married woman.
By speaking up.
Yeah.
Communication.
Awesome.
You got to speak up. You got to communicate. Now, I will say this. This show is to help people who are in somewhat a healthy relationship. For anyone that's getting battered in a relationship, if someone is getting mentally abused, then you need to go get some help. I don't want you to write down notes and try to work it out with someone who's physically or mentally abusing you.
Yeah, that's true.
But with that being said, speaking up, whether you're in a relationship that's toxic or not, you need to speak up with every little thing that concerns you. Now, I will say this. Men have a tendency to think that when we speak up, it's nagging.
Any men in the room? They do think that.
They think it's nagging. So I will say this. This is one of my techniques in 26 years.
Talk to me, girl.
Certain things you could just let it go.
Amen to that.
So a light bulb that has not been changed in 6 months, let it go.
Wait, question. How long has it been since that light bulb's been out?
I'm being sarcastic.
Y'all motherfuckers walking in the walls.
It might have been 5 months and 20 days.
But we've let it go.
But let it go. And you know what? You know what's so hot about that?
What?
Sometimes an intimate room with just one light bulb working is so... That
perspective.
See, you just all about the way you look at it. It's very intimate. And
Come on now.
Turn off.
Come on, let's go.
But you have to pick and choose your battles. Do not nag about every little thing.
Yeah.
But things that affect you and is hurting you mentally, you have to speak up, because you'll be very surprised that the person that you're in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a relationship, they don't know.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they really don't know.
Yeah.
Because you don't say anything.
Yeah.
So once you start saying, hey, by the way, I'm not satisfied with this.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. Now, I'll be honest with you, most of the time they are not receptive.
Yes.
They may have an attitude and think that you're nagging them, but you got your point across and you said it out loud, and then it's to give them time to process it.
Because listen, at the end of the day, if you decide to not let things go and you hold on to it,
yes,
people need to understand that not letting things go, it can manifest into a big ball of negative energy. And
I've seen couples, I've been around couples where they are literally holding on to negativity for years. And they bring that energy with them. You feel it when they walk in a room together. And it's like, oh my God, they need some therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And then it can manifest into illness and all kinds of other things that we're completely unaware of.
Definitely. Also, too, with the whole thing with speaking up is when you guys are arguing, and this is a key point, I need everyone to listen to me. And most of the time it's going to have to be the woman. When you guys are arguing, please, somebody got to stop. Someone got to shut up and let the other one keep arguing. Yeah. That's one of my secrets.
Yeah.
Because when two people are arguing, no one hears each other.
Yeah.
They literally you're, so you both look like two Muppets.
Yeah.
And no one is absorbing what the other one is saying. Matter of fact, it gets so down and dirty that they start saying things that shouldn't be said, and it start really they go in their bag of tricks and you whore, bitch, or whatever it is. That's why I met you on the street corner. So they start saying some grimy stuff that should not be said. So my secret is, and it's funny because my husband adopted it after I started. He noticed that I started doing this. I literally would shut down and I'll be like this.
What you think about? What you think about?
And I tell women, I said, women, leave your hologram there and let them keep arguing with the hologram. You take your mind in another room and start thinking about what you're gonna cook for dinner, what you're gonna buy at the grocery store. And then what you do is you chime back in.
Calling your bestie.
Yeah. Then you chime in. You are absolutely right. I love to do that. You are absolutely right. You are so. They hate that because they know you being sarcastic. But hey, listen, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
They're waiting for the argument.
Yes,
you can't give it to them.
Yes, shut it down. So then my husband started doing the same thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, he done stole my tactics,
bastard.
Bum. So speaking up, communication is a key.
Yeah, being a master of letting things go. Yes, a master.
Yes, definitely. Because
you know what that actually leads to, you actually being a good balancer too.
It does. It really does.
And you don't even realize that is you manipulating energy in that moment.
Yes. Yep. And you know what too? The person that, because like I said, it takes time. So when the first person decides to stop, it might take 3 arguments for the main person to realize, oh shoot, you don't argue with me anymore. And then they start looking at themselves in the mirror and say, wait a minute, this is not kind. Like, why am I arguing with someone who's not arguing back with me? Correct. Then I'm just hurting their feelings. I'm just saying all kind of stuff to make them feel bad.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
That's what that moment does. It gives people that opportunity to stop and think about themselves.
Yes, definitely.
So that's why you are so much more powerful than you honestly realize that you are.
And I thank enlightenment. I thank God. I thank enlightenment. I thank my spiritual team, because I didn't have those skills in the first, I will say, we 26, in the first 22, 23 years. I didn't have those skills.
Yeah.
That's why I was very rocky, because there was no balancing.
Indeed.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep.
So listen, number 4, what do we do after that? Now that you have learned how to be gracious and to forgive people and how to manipulate the energy and let go of things, what do you do after that?
Have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun.
I love this.
Yes, you got to have fun. How do you have fun?
Girl, you so nasty. I wasn't even thinking on that level. Well, I was.
But I was like, movies, going out to eat, but she took it another direction.
That's the ultimate.
That is. I will say that.
Makeup sex.
Yes.
No, but you know what? My ex, what we did, we always went out. We would do great stuff in the house, like have a seafood boil or something, just to be fun, have a little movie night. We'll even just sit in front of the TV. We'll plan time to sit in front of the TV and watch Tubi and something really ridiculous on TV.
And I remember as a woman, you actually started going to the cigar bar with him.
We did.
And I commend you for that, because a lot of average women, I'm not going to a cigar bar. But you was like, if you can't beat them, join them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought me along, as long as his horse weren't anywhere around.
You know what? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you.
She's grateful for the horse, because they help elevate her.
And lead me to my twin flame, who is eventually coming around the corner.
Exactly. So now, did you do anything else? Like, was cooking involved, or like what is?
Well, I was fortunate with him because he did love to cook.
Okay.
And I don't want to make the show about my ex, but I'm just bringing it up because we're talking about, that's my my most recent relationship. But he loved to cook. And we would plan, certain things to cook that he would just take it upon himself, like, babe, I'm cooking such and such tonight.
Yes.
And it's going to be great. Or I'm cooking on the grill.
Yes. I think it was so cute because he'd be on the phone. Yeah, he over there making them turkey wings. I hope he don't put too much seasoning on it, because half the time I can't eat them. But with communication, she was like, you go ahead, boo.
That was the best turkey wing.
She always gave him some good encouragement.
Sure did.
Or gratitude. She always showed gratitude.
I never made him feel bad about that extra seasoning.
Yes. Meanwhile, you was going to have a heartburn tonight, that same night.
I swear to God.
Oh, Lord. He busy sleeping.
I'm in misery.
Looking for a famotidine or something.
Exactly. Oh my God. But yeah, we had a great time. What about you and your husband? What do you guys like to do? Oh, I know what you like to do.
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City.
I have been to Atlantic City in the 26 years, probably at least 1,000 times, at least.
This man.
He loves some AC. He does. And I want to, you know what? I tell him all the time, I'm like the best wife someone could ever have. Because I'm one of those people, if you like it, I love it. If that's what make you happy, because I like to see smiles on people's faces.
Indeed.
And he loves Atlantic City. And there's times we actually he has good luck with gambling.
Yeah.
So, you know.
You guys stay in Atlantic City.
We do.
I'm like, Kish, where y'all going this week? Atlantic City.
Let me tell you something. During COVID, as soon as they opened, I think the week they opened back up, we had our mask on and we was we were like the first ones back in Atlantic City. So yeah, Atlantic City is a thing. So with that being said, I also, speaking up, I tell them, like, there's other stuff I want to do. Like, let's go to the movies.
Awesome.
What else? So, it's just.
But you guys travel a lot, though.
We do.
You're fortunate in that you guys travel a lot.
Yeah.
To the Caribbean, and you do a lot of things with your kids. So I commend you for that.
Yeah.
So you guys find things to have fun, which is totally necessary. Having fun is equivalent to raising the vibration.
It is. I'm glad you said that, because life be lifing. You both got to find that time to smile and just enjoy the moment, and you don't have to have money all the time to have fun.
Yes.
So like, it could be something simple like having a glass of wine and watching your favorite show.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You all have to find your niche. You got to find your niche within your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the ability to find a level of happiness or fun in your relationship, something needs to be reevaluated.
Yes. I think out of all the things on the list, that's one of the major ones, is the fun.
Yeah.
Because life sometimes can be very boring, and paying bills is not cute.
It's not.
I've never seen anyone, we're paying bills.
I got this mortgage coming around the corner. Let's throw a party.
The bills are here. Come on, honey. Let's go pay them. Let's do it together. No. Matter of fact, I go in the corner like, Lord.
It's that time again.
For me, anybody that knows me, bills and mail for me is like kryptonite to Superman. I don't do it. So my husband is always in the corner sulking. And I'm like, how's everything over there, boo? I'll be like, way back. How's everything?
You be all right. You be all right.
Yeah.
Can I get you something?
Yes,
Cup of coffee?
yes. You want a glass of wine?
No. But there's a lot of people who are in relationships right now who may have started off great with having fun, which is why you connect, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden there's a damper in the relationship, and you guys cannot figure out what's next.
Yes.
And that's because somebody's vibration is entirely too low.
Exactly.
If you cannot come to that point where you're having fun again, then maybe either the life lesson is up. You got to figure out what it is. Hopefully you've understood what it is. And sometimes you got to step out of the relationship to understand what the life lesson was.
Yes.
Because that's what happened to me. I didn't realize it until after the relationship had terminated.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, if you guys are not at the point where you can have fun and commingle and raise the vibration within your relationship, something obviously needs to be reevaluated.
So how do we raise the vibration?
Go get you some dick. That's always going to be my answer.
Wait. But while you're with the current dick.
Wait. Let me go back.
How do they do it?
Let me go back. Go back.
Rewind. So how do you raise the vibration?
Listen, if you cannot figure out what the core of your problem is, which is most people's issues in relationships when you're arguing, maybe you need to come see us.
You know what? That's actually a good idea. We could, like I said, we do virtual
all the time.
There's been people who have gotten therapy for weeks and months, and they have 1 or 2 sessions with us, and we help them a whole lot better.
Indeed.
And I'm not telling you to don't go to therapy, please. I don't want anybody trying to sue me. That lady said don't do therapy. No. What I'm just saying is that we can help you.
Yeah, indeed.
And what's the final number 5?
Number 5 is keeping the love.
Love, right?
LOVE.
Yes.
The highest frequency.
It is.
Keeping the love in the relationship.
It sure is.
But I will say this, keeping the love in the relationship, which is why you're probably in this turmoil in your relationship now, why you can't figure it out. In order to keep love between you and another individual, you have to show love to yourself.
I love that.
And that's where I made my mistake, because I didn't know when it was time to walk away, because God was showing me that I had to learn how to love me.
Wow. That's powerful, Janine.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. You got to choose yourself sometimes. Yeah. And if you don't know how to do that, come see us.
Yes.
Or it's time for you to start praying, and it's time for you to start looking in the mirror.
Yeah, and do some shadow work.
Do that shadow work.
You know, it's interesting that you say that with the love, because a lot of people, especially women with more than one kid, they're stressed out. So they have to be at work. They have to be the mother to their kids. They have to be the wife. And after a while, they start losing themselves.
Yes.
And even for the man, he has to, put food on the table. He might feel incompetent in whatever, area as a man. And so people start losing the love for themselves. And as they're losing the love for themselves, how can you love yourself how can you love someone else if you can't love yourself?
Impossible.
Yes. And then you actually become resentful to that person. Because what you consider as love, the energy that you're giving to that person so they can be filled, their cup can be filled, you started being angry because you feel like your cup is not being filled.
Yeah. And
it has to be a balance. So all of the number 1 through 4 that we previously spoke about, that trickles into the love portion, because if you don't have communication, and if you feel like you're being walked all over, if you're not having fun, and you feel like what his life is all about, and all I do is come home and cook for this person, and they don't even show me any gratitude, or all I do is come home and pay these bills and make sure that everyone has clothes on their backs, you start becoming angry. And then also too, with all of that being said, then you can't have forgiveness.
Exactly.
And you can't be grateful.
Exactly. It's
so
a cycle.
It's like, and then the love is just like dried out. Like, it's like cup is empty.
Exactly.
Because there's no love. And then with love.
And you have no love to give.
You don't have no love to give.
Yeah.
So the energy in the relationship is very toxic.
Yes.
Very negative. And then that's when divorce is like right around the corner. Yeah. Because it gets to the point where people are so far in with the negativity that they don't even see hope. They don't even see light at the end of the tunnel. They start hating the individual.
They don't.
And they're like, and how do you go from loving someone, being infatuated with someone, putting a ring on someone's finger, and then to the point where you're like, I hate that bastard. Exactly. Or I hate that bitch. Because the proper work was not done. And things were being neglected. So I appreciate this show because it really just highlights how to keep a marriage going. And the funny thing is, those 5 steps can be for friendships.
Yes.
It can even be for you and your children. Because a lot of times parents do things and their children are not, even their adult sons and daughters don't understand why things are being done. And so the communication has to be there. So both parties can understand that this is where I'm coming from.
Indeed.
Yep. So
indeed.
Powerful.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I will say this because a lot of people is like, well, how do you love? Like, how can you start with love? You have to intentionally. Well, let me ask you that question. How can someone start with the love process?
How can you love when you hate that motherfucker's guts?
Yeah, because some people are at the point where they hate someone and they've been thinking about a divorce lawyer.
Exactly.
So it's like, I'm going to answer that question and I'm going to have you answer it too.
Go for it.
You have to start with yourself, number 1.
That's what I was going to say.
And you have to, like you said, love yourself, but you have to consciously say, I love this person. When you're in a room with this person, think it in your mind, I love this person, because negative energy thrives off of your negative thoughts.
It does.
And so when you're thinking negative about that person, the negative energy is like, yes. So then it'll perpetuate the negative vibes between the two of you.
Yeah.
So positive thoughts.
One thing I will say too, like when in my relationship, I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to walk away.
Yes.
And be in a space where I can be by myself.
Yes.
And you being married for 26 years, you don't have that same opportunity.
I sure don't.
So how, especially in your enlightenment phases, how did you learn how to remove yourself from a relationship mentally so that way you could self-reflect and start loving yourself?
That's how I became very close with my spiritual team. And I did a lot of meditating and praying. And I need for everyone to know I'm not a holy roller. I used to go to church growing up. I was in church every Sunday. But as I got older, like I can't remember the last time I was in church, unfortunately. But I will say this: prayer and meditation helped me. So meditating it was a way of me just removing myself from my household.
Yeah.
Because you can go somewhere mentally
Definitely
with that. And then I actually developed a relationship with my spiritual team, of course, my spiritual team, including God. So that was the only way, not only, and with home care, when I did home care driving, I love to drive because driving is a way to that's therapeutic.
Yeah.
So this
for some. Unless others be cursing motherfuckers out.
No disrespect to the Uber and Lyft drivers, but that's your job. But I
think people that drive Teslas are the worst. Gosh.
No disrespect to Tesla. It's the people that's in the Teslas.
Well, I ain't saying all of that.
But yes, so I love is love, and I'm so happy that I've gotten to the point where the other morning I said to my husband, I got up and I walked to the other side of the bed and I gave him a big hug and kiss. He was like, what was that for? And I said, you know what? The devil doesn't like love. So I said, in order to get the devil away from us, we got to keep loving this marriage.
That's so great because listen, if you can step outside of yourself enough to say, you know what, I'm not going to let the devil win today. Yes. I'm not going to walk around with this attitude today.
Yes.
He's not going to get me.
Yes.
And you know what, I'm going to go over here and just give my husband a kiss anyway, even though he pissed me off like 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
That's powerful.
That's powerful. Yes, it is. It is. Because I'm like, the devil and the negative energy is not winning.
Yeah. So, indeed. So congratulations to you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations to 26 years. I hope that I can make it to 26
you will,
plus.
because we just gave you the tools. We just talked about it.
Come on with
so
it.
now if you don't use any of those tools, then there's a problem.
God damn it. I'm going to have to come see you.
Yes.
Well, listen, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so thankful for the show. I'm thankful for everybody for stopping by today.
Yes,
because
we are.
Listen, we're on a new journey. It's fresh. We got a fresh look. We got so many great things coming down the pike, because at the end of the day, you and I, we have a beautiful mission for the world.
We sure do. And I forgot to mention that we're going to be having a lot of upcoming guests sprinkled with some celebrities in there.
Well, we're claiming it.
Yeah. So you better hang in there with us. Be part of our family.
Yeah, because we had Matt Frazier. So we were fortunate to have Matt Frazier on our show. So we're definitely looking forward to so much more coming along in 2025.
Definitely.
The Twin Flames are bringing magic to you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So this is great. So listen, thank you everybody for coming on by. Just remember that God is love. Love is the highest frequency.
Yes.
And go and find the God within.